Epstein was a pedophile, that he did bad things, that he trafficked girls. I think that the administration should want to stand not on the side of those with the pedophile. But I mean, what do I know?
Well, I don't know. I guess I have a different opinion of this administration. But the one thing that we know about Lutnick is that he lied, right? Even if we don't know anything else about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, we know that he, not just kind of lied, but made up this sort of story of his, kind of moral outrage when he was in Jeffrey Epstein's presence. And that was a blatant falsehood. And on the one hand, this administration has, they lie so much that they've eroded the taboo against that sort of thing. I mean, there used to be a taboo against just public officials blatantly lying to the face of the American people. But, nevertheless, because everything associated with Jeffrey Epstein is so tainted, I think the fact that he lied about this relationship takes on extra gravity.
The question is why?
The question is why. There's lots of questions, Joyce. One of the questions that I have for you is going back to this letter that Alicia talked about in the intro, is this House Dems letter to Pam Bondi, the Attorney General. I want to read from it and then get your response. They write, "The surveillance of members as we perform our constitutional oversight duties, done without our knowledge or consent, is a blatant violation of the separation of powers and further evidence that this DOJ will stop at nothing to protect Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell's co-conspirators, accomplices, and enablers while denying justice to survivors and the American people." Now, Joyce, the DOJ, when there are documents that are sensitive, right, it logs who looks at what, who's searching. That's in order to protect, to make sure that these things don't leak and get out there. It is not abnormal that the DOJ will know what was searched when these members of Congress were looking into it. The thing that is abnormal is the weaponizing of it, right? It is the Attorney General having a binder full of it for each member of Congress, each Democratic member of Congress, and using it against them in public. Talk to people a little bit about that distinction.
I thought that I was past being surprised by anything this administration did. But the fact that the Attorney General walked into her oversight hearing in front of this committee with records showing what at least one member had searched in the Epstein files really still hits just utter shock, I think, on the radar screen. It's incredible to think that Republicans in Congress just a month or so ago were complaining about Jack Smith obtaining lawful subpoenas and using those subpoenas to look at toll phone records for legitimate investigative purposes, of course. On January 6th, it was well known that Donald Trump spoke with members of Congress. They were trying to match up the records to make sure that they identified witnesses, or that would be my presumption. Here, there's no possible legitimate reason for Pam Bondi to march into this hearing carrying search records from a member of Congress, let alone to have access to them in the first place. No legitimate purpose. It's surveillance by one branch of government on another branch, meant to perhaps intimidate or threaten. This is a Justice Department that has failed to comply with the act that Congress passed requiring transparency. They've failed to redact records. They've even told women in the shameless way, most shameless way imaginable, told survivors, if your personal details aren't redacted, if naked pictures of you are disclosed, which happened in this last tranche of discovery, well, the burden is on you to come tell us that we've disclosed your information. And if you let us know, we'll be happy to redact it. Nothing about how this Justice Department is working is right or normal, including this most recent bit.